Welcome, hey everybody, I'm Mr. Grimreaper 2, and welcome everybody to my channel, and I'm going to give you guys your next review for Back in Time. Welcome back to Mob Week. On today's episode of Back in Time, I'm going to give you guys my review for the 1983 classic, from director Brian De Palma, Al Pacino's Scarface. Now, of course, you know this was directed by Brian De Palma and written by Oliver Stone. This is wow, I did not even know this was a remake. Wow. Anyway, the film stars Al Pacino. Let me see. Let's go to the cast here. Okay. The film stars Al Pacino, Stephen Bauer, Michelle Pfeiffer, Mary Elizabeth Mastroni, Paul Shinner, Robert Loggia, Miriam Colon, F. Murray Abraham, Harris Yoen, Angel Salazar, Pepe Serna, Michael P. Moran, Al Israel, Mark Margolis, and Gino Silva. So basically, this film surrounds okay, let me see here. This film surrounds by the guy. This film surrounds in 1980. This film surround a Cuban refugee and ex-convict by the name of Tony Montana, who is trying to get into the drug trade and all that, and bunch of hell breaks loose. So with that in mind, also too, just so you know, again, major spoilers are going to be involved in this. This was one of my favorite movies, one of my dad's too, I believe. But we're going to talk about this. Okay, so apparently, I'm going to go through the plot and I'll talk to y'all guys a little bit about all this while I'm at it. So in 1980, Cuban refugee and ex-convict Antonio Montana arrives in Miami, Florida as part of the Mario boat lift, where he is sent to a refugee camp with his best friends, Manny Rivera, Angel, and Chichi. Anyway, sorry. The four are released and given green cards in exchange for murdering a former Cuban general at the request of a Miami drug dealer by the name of Frank Lopez. They became washers in the diner, to Tony's disgust, proclaiming he is meant for bigger things. Frank's right-hand man, Omar Suarez, gives them a job: purchase cocaine from Colombian dealers, but the deal goes bad. Angel is dismembered with a chainsaw. I'll talk about that. Jesus. While Manny and Chichi are rescue Tony and kill the Colombians. Suspecting that Omar set him up, Tony and Manny insist on personally delivering the recovered drugs and money to Frank. During their meeting, Tony is attracted to Frank's trophy wife, Elvira Hancock, played by, I believe, Michelle Pfeiffer. Frank hires and befriends Tony and Manny. Months later, Tony is reunited with his mother, Georgina, and young sister, Gina, of whom he is fiercely protective. Disgusted by his life of crime, Georgina throws Tony out. Manny is attracted to Gina, but Tony tells him to stay away from her. Frank sends Tony and Omar to Cojobamba to meet with cocaine kingpin Alejandro Sosa. Tony negotiates a deal without Frank's approval, angering Omar, who leaves to contact Frank. Sosa claims that Omar is a police informant and that Frank is weak. Tony witnesses a beaten Omar hanged from a helicopter. Tony vouches for Frank's organization and Sosa. Taking a liking to Tony and Sosa, agrees to the deal, but not before warning Tony to never betray him. Back in Miami, Frank is infuriated by Omar's demise, an unauthorized deal struck by Tony at a nightclub. Corrupt detective Mel Bernstein attempts to extort money from Tony in return for police protection and info. Tony angers Frank further by openly pursuing Elvira in the club, spotting Gina with her boyfriend. Tony angrily beats the two of them. Hitmen attempt to assassinate Tony, but he escapes. Tony, certain that his boss sent both Bernstein and the assassins, confronts Frank with Manny and Chi-Chi in tow. At gunpoint, Frank confesses to the attempted hit and begs for his life, but he and Bernstein are killed. Tony marries Elvira and becomes the distributor of Sosa's product. He builds a multi-million-dollar empire, living in a vast, heavily guarded estate. By 1983, however, Tony becomes dissatisfied with his lifestyle and cocaine addiction. His money launderer demands a greater percentage, while Manny resents Tony's growing paranoia and abusive treatment of Elvira. A sting by federal agents results in Tony being charged with tax evasion with inevitable prison sentence. Sosa offers to use his government connections to keep a desperate Tony out of prison, but only if Tony assassinates a journalist intending to expose Sosa. Later, Tony, during a public dinner, accuses Manny of causing his arrest and Elvira of being an infertile junkie, causing Elvira to leave him. He travels to New York to carry out the assassination with Sosa's henchman, Alberto, who plants a radio-controlled bomb under the journalist's car. However, the journalist is unexpectedly accompanied by his wife and children. Disgusted, Tony kills Alberto before he can detonate the bomb and returns to Miami. And enraged, Sosa calls Tony to promise retribution. Tony, at his mother's behest, tracks down Gina. Tony finds Manny with Gina. In a fit of rage, Tony kills Manny. After which, Gina tearfully tells Tony that she and Manny had gotten married the day before and wanted to surprise him. A stunned Tony returns to his mansion, bringing Gina along, and begins a massive cocaine binge by himself in his office. While Sosa's men begin attacking the mansion, a drug Gina appears and accuses Tony of wanting her for himself and attempts to kill him, but is slammed by one of Sosa's men, who is in turn killed by Tony. With Tony's men all dead, including Chi-Chi, shot down outside Tony's office while frantically pounding on the locked door, yelling at Tony to let him in, and assassins outside, Tony turns a grenade launcher equipped M1681 on Sosa's men, mowing down many. Tony is repeatedly shot by remaining attackers, but continues to taunt him until he is fatally shot from behind by a shotgun-wielding assassin. His limp body falls into a fountain below in front of a statue reading, "The world is yours." Whew, that was a lot. That was a lot. Okay, let's talk about this. So there was a lot of stuff in this film. There was a lot of stuff in this that I liked. But there was one... Jesus, that scene where Angel is dismembered. God, that was hard to watch. That was a hard thing to watch. You see Tony at there. You see Tony there watching his best friend get mutilated by these Colombian drug lords. And Jesus, this shit was brutal. This whole movie and everything else was brutal. The way Tony treated Elvira, I thought he was an asshole for that. The way he treated his sister, I thought he was an asshole for that. Even though I do understand that he's trying to protect his family. He's trying to protect his sister and trying to do that from other people, from men, I guess. I don't know the whole deal. But I thought at the end Tony was an asshole for that, for what he did. But at the end, you start getting Tony. he starts becoming um I guess he's trying to get out the life. I guess I don't know what the hell the deal is with that. But Tony was what I liked about this, it was that Tony, no matter how hard he tried, he was he still he tried his I don't know. Sorry guys, my mind's all right now. But what he said about Elvira, he's a fucking asshole, man. I thought Tony was an asshole. But the one thing I felt bad for him a little bit when I saw him. He's having to, at the beginning, like close to the beginning of the movie, close to the mid part of the movie, he sees his own best friend getting mutilated by these drug lords by a fucking chainsaw. I thought that was the psychotic. What they did not shy away from any of the brutality in this movie. They didn't shy away from any of the violence in this movie. They didn't shy away from anything in this movie. And Al Pacino played him to a T. Now, I heard that there was supposed to have been like I guess a sequel or like some sort of remake or some shit like that. According to this. Let me see here. Oh, so apparently it is going to happen after all. So apparently there will be a remake for this. According to this. So apparently, this happened back on August of this year that the film had not been released in theaters as originally planned, and filming has been announced to start on the fall of 2018. So that's would be sometime maybe in October. Excuse me. So apparently they are gonna make a remake for this film, but come on, guys. I hope not. I love the original film. I thought the original film was a good film. But I hope they don't remake this. But let me know in the comments down below. And, oh yeah, if you're wondering what I gave this a 10 out of 10. I felt that the movie was good and did what it needed to do. And all that. But, yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think and all that. That's going to be it for me for right now. I'm Mr. Grimreaper 512, and I'll see you all in the afterlife. Peace.